Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Town of Kent Town Board meeting for August 29th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Supervisor McGlasson is on a family vacation with her family, and they are bearing down under the path of the hurricane that's heading for them down in Hilton Head right now. So we wish her and her family the best and safe travels home.
Yes.
So we are going to open the public hearing to extend the mining moratorium. Do we have any discussion on that? We need to do a motion on that? On a vote to
Yeah,
open it?
make a motion to open.
So I make, oh, I'm sorry, roll call. This is all new to me, guys.
Deputy Supervisor Ruthven,
Here.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Present.
Councilman Toupori,
Here.
Councilman Boyd,
Here.
and as you mentioned, Supervisor McGlasson is not here tonight.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing to extend the mining moratorium.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we are open to discussion on it.
Susan Kotzer, Town of Kent. I'm just wondering, have you had conversations with the planning board just in discussing this
The
literature?
extension of the moratorium?
Not the extension, but the law itself. Have you been in close contact with them in discussions about this, or do your own discussions and then they do their own discussions, and do you ever come together as a unit and work this out? Because it seems like it's been going on for a very long time and nobody seems to know what the other person is doing. And, you know, the Town of Kent is a business, and businesses do talk with each other's departments to make things work. And so I'm making a suggestion that you make a very good effort to include the planning board on any of your discussions and decisions. Thank you.
Is there any public comment on the extension of the mining moratorium?
All right. Good evening. Michael Caruso, Cuddy and Fader for Kent Country Square. To the extent we haven't communicated it, I don't really, I think my client and I think the general purpose of the moratorium, we respectfully submit, is not served by extending it. You know, there have been, 6 or 7 extensions already. I think, you know, looking at the history of when this was adopted and the posture of the draft excavation law, it doesn't seem to be a real imperative to extend the moratorium. Rather, perhaps the focus is more on the excavation law and the, public comment and engagement period. It doesn't seem that the moratorium will solve anything other than deter applicants. I'm not aware of any, certainly not any applications of similar scale to Kent, to the Country Square. So I'm not sure, from my client's perspective, certainly, it certainly doesn't serve an end. If the law is being contemplated, it's being deliberated, and the public hearing, and comment phase is still open rather for that. Our position is to the board, we don't see that it really serves a purpose to extend the moratorium once more. So that's our position.
Julie Boyd, Town of Kent. I don't have a problem with extending the moratorium. I would like to give us plenty of time. I'm pretty sure we're getting close to a final resolution on the excavation law revisions. If this allows us the extra time to do it, we learned there a couple weeks ago that if we get everything, all the new ducks in the row and the law done, we can end the moratorium sooner. We don't have to go for the full 6 months. So I'm in support of you doing it.
So, just a quick comment, and that is certainly the reason why we are extending the moratorium, is to allow for more written comments. We want to be able to take more written comments and allow those comments to be digested and, if needed, added into the excavation law. So that was our whole intent. We don't plan on it. You know, knock on wood, we've said this before, we don't plan on using the whole 6 months. We don't think we're going to need it. We want to be able to wrap up this thoroughly but quickly and see and put it to rest, because you're right, this has been going on for quite some time now. Is there any other comments? I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, who wants to do this one? Ann, you want to take this one?
Okay, I'm going to need a resolution or local law number, or do we just leave it blank?
No, this, we are adopting it, so it will be local law number 4.
I make a motion to adopt a resolution adopting local law number 4-2023. Whereas a local law extending a temporary land use moratorium prohibiting mining within the town of Kent was introduced as introductory local law number 4, the local law of the year 2023, before the town board of the town of Kent on August 17, 2023. And whereas the local law determines that adoption of the local law constitutes a Type 2 action pursuant to the State Quality Environmental Review Act, SECRA, and therefore requires no further review under SECRA. And whereas the public hearing was opened on August 29, 2023, and the public was invited to attend and be heard on the matter, now therefore be it resolved that introductory local law number 4 of 2023 is hereby enacted by the Town Board of the Town of Kent as local law number 4 of 2023 of the Town of Kent. And be it further resolved that a true copy of the law is attached hereto and made a part hereof. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We did the Pledge of Allegiance, we did roll call, discussion, property registry. So, quite a few years ago, while Councilman Eustis was here, we had joined up with a company that does a property registry for the town of vacant and abandoned properties. That company has since went out of business, I'm guessing, Nancy, that's what
Yes.
happened, right? They went out of business. So we've done some research and found another company that comes highly recommended. A lot of other municipalities use this company. It's called HERA, H-E-R-A, HERA. And we have a resolution tonight to basically do the same thing that they were doing and continue being able to collect some money from these vacant and abandoned properties. Any public comment on it? Jorma?
Make a motion to adopt a resolution approving an agreement between the Town of Kent and HERA. Whereas the Town of Kent previously entered into a certain agreement with Property Registration Champions, LLC, the agreement whereby Property Registration Champions, LLC, provided services to register vacant, abandoned, and foreclosed properties within the Town of Kent in connection with Chapter 68 of the Town Code entitled, quote, "Foreclosure of Mortgages and Vacant Property Registration," end quote. And whereas the town is in receipt of a proposed agreement with HERA Property Registry to provide similar services with fees for such services rendered to the town, paid from the registration fees collected by HERA at no cost to the town, the agreement, and whereas the town board believes it is the best interest of the town to enter into the agreement with HERA, now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby approves the agreement, and be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes and directs the town supervisor to execute the agreement in form annexed hereto, and any and all other documents in a form satisfactory to the supervisor, and if requested by the town attorney, and to take any and all other necessary or appropriate actions to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. There, item B is our sewer district. We're going to let Councilman Boyd discuss that.
All right, so for the sewer district, in the bylaw of it, asks that there be a council to help to advise on issues with the sewer district. because there hasn't been much going on with the sewer district since basically its inception. There's been nobody on the board, or hasn't existed. And so with the Kent Manor being built and coming into existence, there will be a lot of questions, paperwork, stuff like that that will need to be gone over. So we are going to basically reinstate the sewer committee. And so we have 4 people that want to be on it. So I think that on September 5th, which will be our next meeting, we'll propose those 4 people. There has been an advertisement out for, I don't know, probably over a month, I think, on that. So I think we can close that out and bring that to an end of who we're looking for. We have 4 is more than sufficient for the
Does our
board.
code designate how many people the
It does
committees-
not.
Okay,
No.
so whoever's interested,
Yeah, basically, yes.
right.
Yes, who's ever willing.
whoever willing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Any public comment on that? Any volunteers?
So you just want to make a motion to close out, looking for people? Or is it kind of just open-ended if somebody wants to
Yeah,
join later?
make a motion to close the hiring process. Do we need to do that? Did we put a timeline on it?
No? Okay,
So just leave it. All
very
right.
good.
Okay, thank you. All right, item C, we are looking to hire a clerk for our building department to help out with Bill Walters. And our human resource officer, Claudia, and Bill met with a applicant off of the, I believe off of the civil service list. So they had taken the civil service test on it. And we have a resolution tonight to authorize the hiring of the clerk for the building department.
Make a motion for a resolution authorizing the hiring of the clerk for building department. Let's see. Whereas the town of Kent is seeking to fill the position of clerk for the building department, and whereas Town of Kent Building Inspector Bill Walters has recommended hiring Catherine Vaccaro to fill the position of clerk for the building department. Whereas the town board would like to accept Mr. Walters' recommendation and hire Mrs. Vaccaro. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the hiring of Catherine Vaccaro as clerk for the building department at an annual salary of $40,000. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving right along. Our next item is an authorization to hire a temporary recreation assistant for our recreation department. We have a vacancy there. It's being advertised, I think it's a tested position because it's being advertised in the newspaper. So in the interim before that test is given and we can get a list from that, we wanted to hire a young man by the name of Nate Wolf. I know Nate, he just graduated with my daughter from Carmel High School, and he internshiped for our county tourism department. He's a great kid from a great family and lives right up the road from me. So I recommend this one, and we have a resolution to hire him. Any public comment? Ann?
Okay. I make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing hiring of a temporary recreation assistant. Whereas the town of Kent is seeking to fill the position of temporary recreation assistant for the recreation department, and whereas Jamie McGlasson, the town supervisor, has recommended hiring Nate Wolf as temporary recreation assistant with the recreation department, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the hiring of Nate Wolf as temporary recreation assistant at a rate of $17 per hour until December 31st, 2023. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, planning board. We need to approve some bonds for erosion control, surety bond, and escrow for inspection fee. For property located at North Horsepound Road and Route 52 in Kent, in the amount of $105.88, it looks like. Sorry, my bifocals are so scratched up, I have to take them off to read now, so I'm struggling. Any public comment on this?
Can you clarify the number?
Yeah, it's $105,088.
That's,
That's a lot. Let's look back. Yeah, that's what it is.
And there's additional language as well.
What was that one?
And so if you look at that page, it shows you all the other numbers.
Yep, erosion control bond in the amount of $105,088.
Okay.
Jerome, you want to take that?
Sure. Make a motion to adopt a resolution accepting the erosion control surety bond and escrow for inspection fee. Whereas the planning board, by resolution number 11 of the year 2023, dated August 16th, 2023, has recommended the town board accept an erosion control bond in the amount of $105,088 from the owner of the property located at North Horse Pond Road and Route 52, Kent, New York, 10512, as shown on the Town of Kent tax map as 12.1-38 and 12.1-42. And whereas the town board wishes to accept the recommendation as set forth in the planning board resolution number 11 of the year 2023, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the Town of Kent hereby accepts the recommendation of the planning board that an erosion control bond be accepted from the owner of North Horse Pond Road and Route 52 as set forth above. I make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, our next item is a resolution accepting a proposal for an oil tank for the Kent Police Department. We need to remove and replace the oil tank that's there at a cost of $6,700. Any comment on it? Sean?
Make a motion for resolution accepting proposal for oil tank. Whereas the Kent Police Department is in need of the removal and replacement of 2 oil tanks, and whereas the town requested quotes to remove and replace the oil tanks and received 3 quotes in response, and whereas Dutchess Environmental Construction has submitted the lowest quote to remove and replace the oil tanks for a total cost of $6,700.00, and whereas the Town Board of Kent wishes to accept the quote by Dutchess Environmental Construction, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the Town of Kent hereby accepts the proposal of Dutchess Environmental Construction to remove and replace the oil tanks at the Kent Police Department, consistent with the attached proposals, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all arrangements and other documents necessary to give effect to this resolution, consistent with the terms and therefore of all informed satisfactory to the supervisor and the town attorney. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, our next item is a resolution accepting a quote for a shed for the e-waste services that'll be located here at the town hall. They attempted to get a number of quotes. They're looking for, I believe, an Amish-made shed. They only got 2 quotes, and the lowest quote was $4,725 for a 10-by-10 shed for, what is that, Stoltzfus Structures? Stoltzfus Structures. All right. Any questions on that?
In the paperwork, it said A-frame, so, when I think A-frame, I think,
I think it's a gable roof type of shed.
Yeah.
A-frame typically would go all the way to the ground.
yeah,
It's not-
so.
Doesn't look like
I
that.
wouldn't think that, but
Yeah.
that's just what was in the paperwork.
Yeah.
Mr. Kotzer, do you have any idea of when it will be here and is there a program to start collecting the e-waste? Do you have a plan and?
To answer your first question, I don't know what the construction timeline is on it. We can look quick and see if it says on their quote, but I think it's fairly simple. I don't think they build it. I think they just deliver it. So once we pay them, the delivery will come at that point. And as far as the timeline for usage, I wouldn't know. We'll have to ask the supervisor to clarify that.
Okay, thanks.
I'm just looking at the quote here, and there's a discount if we order before August something, but it
No,
doesn't say the date.
and I'll be honest with you, that's why it's on the agenda tonight, to try to get that discount. It's by the end of August, I was
Okay.
told by the supervisor.
Okay,
So we wanted
otherwise
to
we
get
wanna
that in to get the discount.
Allow the higher amount, perhaps.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I make a motion to add an item to the agenda for the American Tower, for our cell towers.
Don't we want to do
Oh,
this?
yeah, we gotta read off the resolution first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do that. My fault, jumping the gun. Ann, you want to take the
Sure.
e-waste shed?
I make a motion to adopt a resolution accepting a quote for the shed for e-waste service. Whereas the town of Kent has a need for a shed to store e-waste prior to pickup by the removal company, and whereas consistent with the procurement policy, the town requested quotes for a 10 by 10-foot shed and received 2 quotes in response, copies of which are annexed hereto and hereby incorporated herein. And whereas Stoltzfus Structures submitted the lowest quote in the amount of $4,724. Okay, so this does have the higher amount in here, just in case. And whereas the town board wishes to accept the quote of Stoltzfus Structures consistent with the proposal, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby accepts the quote of Stoltzfus Structures to provide a 10 by 10-foot shed for e-waste storage for a price not to exceed $4,724. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now I make a motion to add an item to the agenda to authorize American Tower to remove and install some equipment on the cell tower.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we got a resolution here tonight for the authorization of the acceptance of a proposal of American Tower for equipment for removal and installation on our cell tower, which is part of our lease agreement. They have to ask our permission to put anything up or take anything down. And this is the cell tower at Smoky Hollow Court. Is there any comment
Actually,
on this?
it's here at Town Hall. Yep.
Okay.
There's 2 sites.
It says both sites on here now that I'm reading it. You want me to cross this
On the
one?
resolution?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
No, I
mistake.
think it's just saying that they have agreements with
Oh,
us with
that's
both places.
my fault. So it actually doesn't say the exact site. Oh, it does right
Yeah,
here.
it does
At
that.
Sybil's Crossing
Yeah.
site, down on the 4th line down. So it's the tower here that they want to do some work on.
Question.
Sure.
Other suppliers, T-Mobile, everybody else, Sprint, have all been doing this upgrade to the towers and doing the same thing, taking equipment down, putting equipment up. Your authorization, and the other companies are also getting permits to do that type of work. So I just want to make sure that this authorized, they still have to go through the same permit process to put this new equipment up.
So, if it's authorized tonight, when we send the consent form over after it's been signed
Okay.
by the deputy supervisor, I'll remind them that there's a permitting process they must comply with.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bill.
It's going on all the towers. They're all doing upgrades. They've been doing upgrades for a little over a year now. So they're all getting supposedly better, I hope.
So have we been making them get a permit for previous work? Or we're just
Excuse me?
Have we been making them get permits for previous work?
Absolutely.
Oh, we have, okay.
There's nothing new here. Yeah,
Nothing
they've been
new.
every supplier has been getting permits for a number of years. The file is like this big for the upgrades.
Thank you.
I was puzzled by this because there's a lot of information about the structural integrity of the tower and so forth, but the equipment they're putting in is all electronics, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thanks. Not sure why that other information was supplied then.
They'll all weigh something. They want to make sure they don't carry the weight.
Want to take this?
Sure.
Thanks.
Was it in your packet?
Yeah.
Make a motion adopting a resolution authorizing the acceptance of a proposal of American Tower for equipment removal and installation. Whereas the town, as landlord, previously entered into lease agreements with Homeland Towers LLC as leasee for sites within the town of Kent, including a site at 25 Sybil's Crossing, Kent, New York, and a site at Smoky Hollow Court, Kent, New York. Hereinafter, the lease agreements. Whereas Homeland Towers LLC assigned its rights to Insight Towers Development LLC, which was acquired by American Tower Corporation, and whereas pursuant to the site lease agreements, the leasee must obtain the consent of the town board prior to the installation of certain equipment of users of the tower of the site, and whereas the leasee is requesting the town board's approval on a proposal for the removal and installation of equipment by Verizon Wireless at the Sybil's Crossing site, consistent with the plans prepared and submitted with the proposal, copies which are annexed hereto and hereby incorporated. And now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby consents to the proposal consistent with the plans submitted by leasee, and be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Vouchers?
Make a motion to approve the following vouchers that exceed threshold. Door Control, Inc., $4,972 for handicap door operators. Global Montello Group, $5,908.04 for diesel. Kevin Irvin, $2,007, prosecutor for June and July. Royal Carting, $6,481.09, recycling garbage, July. State Comptroller, $35,558, Justice Court fines and fees for July. Town of Kent Municipal Repairs, $21,145.88 for chargebacks for the highway in April, and Town of Kent Municipal Repairs, $24,446.65 for chargebacks for sanitation in April. United AG and Turf, $14,334.22 for Hyde Motors. Wind Waste, $9,308.23, $6,550.60, and $9,437.09 for Lake Carmel garbage. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, announcements. Sue, I'm reading through my notes here that Jamie left me, and it says about the recycling dumpster on the very last page that they are all set to begin as soon as the shed is here. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna hold these up to the camera, I guess. No, I'm not gonna be able to read them. So we have Kent Community Day coming up on September 9th at 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Here at the Town Hall. It's the Kent Community Day Market and Vendor Fair. And every time I've been to it, it's been a really good time. Nice turnout. Hopefully we get some nice weather. Next, Kent Recreation is offering a Fall Bowling League from October 2nd to November 20th at 6 p.m. for bumper bowling ages 5 to 8, youth bowling ages 9 to 13, and you can get a hold of Kent Rec to sign up for that. Kent Recreation is offering ice skating lessons at the Brewster Ice Arena for ages 3 to 5 and 6 to 12. Session 1 is every Saturday, September 9th through October 21st, $165 from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Or Session 2 every Saturday, October 28th to December 16th. The floating tribute on Lake Carmel, and this is for Lake Carmel residents only. This is the Silent Blue Light Vigil, where they come out with their boats and quietly go around the lake. And it's on Monday. It's obviously for September 11th. It's on Monday, September 11th at 6:30 p.m. They're gathering at Beach 3. They're distributing the lights, 7:10. The procession begins and heads toward the Lake Carmel Veterans Memorial, 7:45, a moment of silence at the Lake Carmel Veterans Memorial, and 7:55 they depart. Tactical Laser Tag League, presented by Kent Parks and Recreation. There's a lot here. Kent Recreation will be offering a 5-week league session with a 6th-week face-off against top-placing teams from opposing towns to 5th and 8th grade students in the Carmel School District. Teams consist of 4 players. Carmel will operate at a JV varsity combination. Where is it down here? Fall season, $160 per season to include all the stuff you get, and or $130 season fee for players who already have their league shirts, I guess. And that's going to be on Thursdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and starts on September 21st. Oh, that was a lot of them. Kent Recreation Soccer, ages 2 to 3.5, Saturday morning starting September 16th, and ages 3 to 5, Saturday morning starting September 16th. It goes from September through November. They have a Hot Shots League for age 5 to 6, a Rookie League for ages 7 to 8, a Minor League from ages 9 to 10, and a Junior League for ages 11 through 12. And I see down here in big bold, coaches are needed, so if you want to coach, sign up. And the last one is the Caitlin Rose Savio, the 12th annual event for Caitlin Rose Savio, Saturday, October 7th, 12 to 5 at QE Country Day Camp on Union Valley Road in Carmel. And I believe that they offer scholarships and stuff to Carmel grad students that are going into nursing. Right. That's all I have for announcements. Anybody else?
I just got a quick one. Just piggybacks off with the schools. And I know Chief Owens will be happy I said this. Well, unfortunately, the summer's ending, so we have school starting, and I have to be in school on Friday. So school's open, please drive carefully.
Agreed. All right, I have a few. Natural resource inventory that we've been working on for over a year is moving towards completion. And we will have one more draft before it goes off to the designer that will be posted on the town website. So there's still opportunity to give us feedback about that document. I also wanted to mention that we're moving ahead with the electric vehicle charging stations that will be over by the library. So we're making progress on that. That was already funded. And there is a $100,000 grant opportunity that's offered to all the municipalities, I think through the state Senate. We heard about it through Senator Harcum. And so we're working on a couple of possibilities. One thing that we're thinking is that for the renovation of the old town hall building, we could perhaps have a ground source heat pump system. And so we're getting quotes on that. The alternative would be to put in more charging stations. And the deadline for the New York Forward Grant is coming up at the end of September. And community involvement and input is important, so we will be seeking that. I think we may allocate some time, if the supervisor agrees, at the town board meeting next week for comment on that. And also, we will be asking for comment at Community Day. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, as always, there's a lot of great stuff happening at the library. I notice in particular that in addition to the tech support that they offer on Saturdays, which was funded through ARPA, and that's 10 through 12, and also 12:30 to 2:30 on Saturdays. They also have a lecture coming up on Coles Mills, a walk through Coles Mills 1748. So a member of the Cole family is going to present at 5:30 on Tuesday, September 12th, here at the library. You do need to register in advance to learn about what life was like here back in the 1750s. And there's also the Project Linus is continuing. They have openings for September 14th. And there was something about bridge lessons, I think, also. Now I'm not finding that right now. But again, check the website. There's always a lot of wonderful activity going on at the library. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, just going to follow up on Jorma. School is opening up next week. We have some mobile signs that are out that you might see. They'll indicate your speed as you drive by, just to give you a reminder. Obviously, with all those nicely paved roads, it's very easy to drive quickly. So allow yourself more time to get to work or wherever you're going when the school buses are out. There will also be a heavier police enforcement. So consider yourself warned with the signs. Slow down. Thank you.
Good. Public comment?
Bill Walters, member of the Lake Carmel Fire Department. I just want to make an announcement. The Explorer program that the Lake Carmel Fire Department has had since the 70s came dangerously close to folding this year. We have 2 new people that came in, and they're going to continue the program. So we're looking for kids, 14 and 18, who are interested in EMS and firefighting and fire police activities and a bunch of other different things. It's part of the Boy Scouts of America program. And you're looking into those who are interested, go down to the firehouse generally on Sunday morning, and they can see one of the chiefs, or we can get you signed up. Our chartering starts again in November. So we're glad that this program is going to continue on.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks. And I'd just like to add something to that. It'd be great if we could do something like make college credits available to people who did stuff like that because they wanted to move on further into nursing or something like that. I don't know if that's available, but
There's lots of programs that are out there that are available to the Explorers, particularly one of the biggest ones that support this organization is the Putnam County Volunteer Firemen's Association with scholarships for, education when they get into college and everything else. So there are a lot of organizations. FASNY also supports the Explorer troops. So there are some scholarships that are out there for kids.
Thank you.
Sue Kotzer, Town of Kent. I'd like to revisit the vote from the August 17th meeting. I have some questions about the easement, where exactly it starts. So I have maps here, if I could give them to you, and if you could mark them and tell me where the easement actually starts.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Because I don't know.
We can get this back to you. We can fill this out and get that back to you.
Okay, thank you, because I just don't know where, I'm reading it, and it just says the easement, and I'm not a pro, I'm not going to go through all the,
We can give a hand with that at
Schedules.
my office. I can get Jamie Spillane, who was working on this for the town, to delineate that area for you.
or I want them to make sure that they know also where it begins and where it ends, because it's confusing. Also on page 2, you don't have it in front of you. It says, "The town center all being shown on the lot line adjustment and easement map prepared by Insight Engineering and Surveying and dated January 18th, 2028. The Insight map, a copy of which is annexed here to and made a part here of Schedule D." So I think that needs to be corrected. It says 2028. That's about it, I guess. I just, I'm just very not happy with the whole thing. And I'm not sure if Councilman Ruthven should have excused himself from the vote, since you are employed by the county and you live on county land in a county house. And the county's going to get $65,000 for this easement that you voted on. So thank you very much for your time.
Any other public comment?
Make a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel issues.
All in favor?
Need a second?
Second.
No, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.